Hi there, I'm Amy.Connell. Welcome to Graced Health, the podcast for women who want simple and grace-filled ways to take care of themselves and enjoy a little chocolate in the process. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach who wants you to know your eating, movement, and body don't have to be perfect. You just need to be able to do what you're called to do. Welcome to another episode of Ask the Trainer, where I answer questions you may have about your eating, movement, or how they work together in about 7-ish minutes. Today's question actually comes courtesy of one of our community. Gracie, thank you for reaching out. Gracie contacted me and said, I can't run like I used to, which I think is really common, and I am walking more, but I'm trying to make it a little bit more difficult. Can I use weights when I walk? This is something I have been asked actually a handful of times, so I'm really glad she brought it up. Before I answer that, let's take a step back just a little bit, as you know that I'm prone to do. Our body is connected from the top of our head down to our feet. This is called the kinetic chain. And basically it is all of the way that your muscles and your tendons and your skeletal system all work together. It's also why you may feel pain in one part of your body when in fact an injury or an issue is in a different part. You've heard me talk about in the foam rolling, I think just a couple weeks ago, your knee may be acting up, but it actually may be your connective tissue on your IT band that is bound up. You just are feeling that in your knee. So this is all part of the kinetic chain. Now, our body is designed to carry our weight wherever it is and however much we weigh. Obviously, it is more efficient and it prefers to move at a more natural, whatever our natural weight is. But it's no secret that when we carry extra pounds on our frame, it is a little bit more difficult on our joints, on our body, on our heart, all of that kind of stuff. So when we add weights to our hands, now this is my opinion, and you may have other people who disagree with me, and that's okay. But in my opinion, when we add weights to our hands, we are not dispersing that weight as our body would naturally carry it. If I consume all of the chocolate and drink all of the wine and eat all of the potato chips, like I could do, if I let myself, well, I would, let's face it, I would put on some pounds. I would gain some weight. If I gain weight that way, I'm not going to gain them in my hands. I'm going to gain them in my torso, in my hips, in my legs, in the center of my body, because that is what is most efficient for my body to distribute that weight and to continue moving it, because I do still walk. We all still walk. We all still move, and our body can deal with those extra pounds when they are within our trunk, within our legs. When we gain weight, we don't gain weight in our wrists or in our fingers. And if you do, then you might want to see a doctor because something's wrong. But when we hold weights and we walk, that has a chance of impacting our gait, which is the stride. It will make our hips turn a little bit more, which is not the way that we were designed to move. And it can impact that kinetic chain in ways that we are not necessarily wanting it to. Because again, when we walk, in particular, when we walk, we are designed to be efficient because we used to walk miles and miles and miles every day, and our body needed to be as efficient as possible. Now, you have heard me probably talk about how it's good to be inefficient, particularly in our workouts, change things up, change the modalities. And so I don't want to discredit that. However, when we add weights, that is not necessarily a natural way for our body to add inefficiency. In my opinion, it will do more harm than good. Now, I have friends who like to walk with weights, and that's okay. But I do encourage you to pay attention to how your shoulders are reacting, to how your hips are feeling, both your hip flexors and your glutes and your knees, and just see how that is impacting you. If you do want to add weights, and I'm going to cover this in a couple of weeks, actually, when we talk about making walking more challenging. But if you do want to add weights, what I encourage you to do is try and replicate your body, which means get maybe a weighted vest. And I know that these are going to be a lot more pricey than going and grabbing 2 or 3 pound weights, but get a weighted vest that will distribute the weight more similarly. I can't say that word very well. Similarly to how your body will distribute weight when it has added weight to it. So I hope that makes sense. Obviously, do what works for you. And if you have other trainers who recommend that, then, you can take that into consideration. But it is my opinion that it is better to find different ways to challenge ourselves while walking other than holding weights. So if you want to know what those are, come back next week and we will talk about those. By the way, if your knees do bother you and you are having to move a little differently than you used to, make sure you grab my free download, a free program, Squat Free Strong Legs, over at gracedhealth.com/stronglegs. And I will give you 12 different movements, 3 different exercises, a demo video, and a bonus warm-up just for getting all of that. And it will help you strengthen all of the muscles in your lower body without doing any squats or lunges. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a graced day.